Open any standard history textbook, and you will find a familiar story. 12,000 years ago, the human race was primitive. We were nomadic hunter-gatherers, wandering the earth in small tribes. We hadn't invented agriculture, we hadn't mastered pottery, and we certainly hadn't built cities. According to science, we were just trying to survive the end of the last ice age. But then, we dug up this. This is Göbekli Tepe, located in modern-day Turkey. It is a massive complex of monumental stone circles. It doesn't just stretch our understanding of human history, it completely breaks the timeline, because carbon dating proves this site was built roughly 12,000 years ago. It is 7,000 years older than Stonehenge. It predates the Egyptian pyramids by more than 8,000 years, which leaves mainstream archaeology with a terrifyingly simple question. How did a people who supposedly only possess tools made of flint and bone build the impossible? To understand why Göbekli Tepe baffles engineers, you have to look at the sheer scale of the operation. We aren't talking about a few stacked rocks. We are talking about hundreds of massive, T-shaped limestone pillars arranged in precise, deliberate circles. The largest of these pillars tower over 18 feet tall and weigh upwards of 20 metric tons. Think about the logistics. To build just one of these enclosures, ancient people had to quarry these massive blocks from nearby limestone hills, carve them with microscopic precision, transport them hundreds of meters across rugged terrain, and raise them perfectly upright. According to conventional history, a project of this scale requires thousands of organized laborers. It requires architects, engineers, supervisors, and most importantly, a permanent supply of food and water to keep those workers alive. But remember, agriculture didn't exist yet. There are no farms, no wheat fields, no domesticated. How do you feed a massive workforce of ancient construction workers when your only source of food is chasing wild gazelles? The math simply does not add up. But the mystery runs deeper than just moving heavy stones. Look closer at the pillars themselves. These aren't crude stick figures etched in a rock. These are highly sophisticated, high-relief, three-dimensional carvings of wild beasts. Boars, cranes, leopards, and humanoid hands wrapping around the sides of the pillars. To create a relief carving, you don't just scratch a line into the stone. You have to meticulously chip away the entire surrounding surface of the rock, leaving the animal's shape perfectly raised and intact. Doing this on limestone, using nothing but flint tools and wooden mallets, requires a staggering amount of time, patience, and artistic mastery. It suggests a culture that wasn't just struggling to get by day to day. It suggests a society with dedicated artisans who had the luxury of time. And then there is the alignment. Some researchers have noted that these enclosures seem to track the stars, specifically targeting the constellation Orion or the star Sirius. If true, it means these hunter-gatherers weren't just master stonemasons. They were advanced astronomers. But perhaps the most chilling detail about Göbekli Tepe isn't how it was built. It's how it ended. Around 10,000 years ago, after being used for centuries, the site was abandoned. But it wasn't destroyed by war, it wasn't ruined by natural disasters. Instead, the people who built it did something inexplicable. They deliberately buried it. Thousands of tons of dirt, gravel, and animal bones were hauled in to completely cover the pillars, sealing them away from the world like a time capsule. They turned a grand architectural marvel into an artificial hill, leaving it pristine and hidden for 10 millennia. Were they hiding it from an impending global catastrophe? Were they performing a ritualistic funeral for a religion that had died? Or were they preserving it for a future generation, for us to find? We have only excavated a fraction of Göbekli Tepe. Over 90% of the site still sits silently beneath the earth, waiting to be uncovered. Ground-penetrating radar shows dozens of more circles, hundreds of more pillars, still waiting in the dark. Every stone we pull from the ground forces us to rewrite human history. It reminds us that our ancestors weren't simple primitives. They were dreamers, engineers, and creators of the impossible. What do you think Göbekli Tepe really was? A temple? An observatory? Or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you want to keep digging into the secrets history left behind, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep questioning what you know.